Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. I have an vision that I received recently and an update, an additional vision that I've received on a previous past life that I've discussed with you guys. So that's never happened before. Um, but there's a lesson in it, so I thought it would be good to share it with all of you. So this started off as I was like sitting on my couch minding my own business and I started having a vision. And the vision I saw was I saw a snake on my floor, which is not the kind of vision you probably want to get. So I saw a snake on my floor, but I knew it's something I'm seeing with my third eye. It's not something that looked like it was physically there. So I asked Metatron why, and then all of a sudden I see two snakes and they're just slithering really fast towards me. So I'm like, all right. Um, and so they climb up my body, and one coils around my right arm and one coils around my left arm. And so when that happened, received this energy that felt very powerful and it also felt feminine. And so I was like, okay, I think there's a goddess associated with this. So I had to Google it, of course. And I came up with the name Aphrodite. So I asked Metatron, do you want me to channel her? And he says, yes. So the interesting thing about Aphrodite is I've had one other interaction with her that was extremely limited. So prior to me being able to channel, prior to me communicating with Metatron, I used to meditate and get visions that way. And so one of the visions I received a long time ago started off with this beautiful turquoise water, and there were dolphins in the water. And then as the the vision kind of started going deeper into the water, and as it did, there was this beautiful, beautiful face in the water. And whenever I see a goddess, they're always just like the most, gorgeous people that ever lived, right? So I saw a beautiful face in the water, and it took me it took me a while to figure out who it was. And so at the time, that was all the vision was. And then later, when I was able to communicate with Metatron, I went back and asked him, hey, who was that? And I found out it was Aphrodite. So, okay, that's cool. And then now I'm finding out additional information both about that vision I had during the meditation and a vision I've talked to you guys about. So, what I found out was in that vision I had with the turquoise water and the dolphins, it was Aphrodite that was showing me my two dolphin friends from the Sirian planet. And so they came up in two different lifetimes that I talked to you guys about previously. Um, and then also now, from having this experience to understanding about that past vision, I was being told that Aphrodite's soul was with me in one of the Syrian lifetimes that I shared about you, or that I shared with you. So it was the Syrian lifetime where um, I was a merperson. I was playing with the two dolphins. They were playing that game where they were blowing the bubbles and it was making rings, and I was trying to swim through them. And then I saw saw like a merman, and he was my partner, and we had the oyster farm, and we had like some kind of other farm that I think was seaweed, and he went over and helped that neighbor, or he went over to help the neighbor with something and ended up getting like cut on the wrist by, I think, a manta ray, and he ended up bleeding to death and dying. And so that lifetime that I've shared with you before, I'm now told that that female neighbor was Aphrodite's soul. So let me pull up my notes. Um, so I asked her, I said, "Were you the female Merperson that asked my partner for help?" And she says, "Yes." And then I can feel her sadness. She's sad that my partner died. And then she said she wanted to show me more of that lifetime after he died. So I was like, okay. So I saw myself tending to the oyster farm. This is my favorite work, I can tell. I see that Aphrodite is watching me. And I'm going to call her Aphrodite, but in this lifetime, I don't know what her name was for that lifetime, but I'm calling her Aphrodite. So the female neighbor, I see her kind of coming over, and she's kind of, it's like she wants to talk to me, and she sees me by myself doing the oyster farm, and she looks like she wants to say something, but she doesn't know what to say. I swim over to her, and she telepathically says, "Do you need some help?" And I tell her, "I know you feel bad about Tamoon's death." So Tamoon is the name that she gave me in that moment for my partner. So I say, "I know you feel bad about Tamoon's death, but it was an accident. Don't blame you." And she says, "I just feel so bad." And she starts crying. And so now I'm getting this backstory where I find out that I haven't been able to cry about his death. I hold it in. I keep busy, so I don't have as much time to remember he's gone. So this is really like, I really relate to this because this is something that I've been dealing with in this lifetime. And it says, "I don't know how to respond properly to Aphrodite." So, this is another problem that I've had in this lifetime where someone has an emotional reaction. And because I have been trying to prevent myself from having emotions and I'm detached from the emotions, it when you try to detach from your heart chakra, you kind of lose that ability to have proper compassion and emotion for others. So I was having that problem in this lifetime too, where she's crying about his death, and I'm just like, what do I do? um, my heart is closed off. I don't know how to be vulnerable or compassionate with her. I just say nothing. She tells me that we could be friends, her and I. She says that we are neighbors and that we could be closer than acquaintances that we've been. I feel dead inside, though. And this is me, this is my internal thoughts. I feel dead inside. I only want to moon back. I don't want anything else. I want to be alone in my grief where no one can see it. I don't feel like I can be a good friend right now, and I'm not recognizing the value of her friendship that could change my life. I tell her I don't know how to be a friend. I think I've hurt her feelings, but I just can't handle managing her feelings because I can't even manage my own. I swim away from her and go inside my little home, and I look at all of my partner's things, and I feel safe and happy in this space just to be near his things. I pretend he is there. I talk to him every night about my day, and then I cry because because he cannot respond and tell me about his. But I don't cry for very long because I shut it back off. I refuse to change anything about my life. I want it all the same as when he was there. I don't want to move forward without him. So that is the end of this information from this past lifetime. I think this is extremely important to share with all of you because I think we can all relate to going through a life change that we are resistant to. Doesn't change the fact that the change happened. It's just our resistance to it, right? I was resistant to the fact that he wasn't there. And so to try to make it like that didn't happen, I was trying to preserve our life exactly as it was when he died to try to hold on to it. And so I think this is something that I can see other people doing when someone they know dies, or even when a relationship dies, right? People being resistant to that change and trying to hold on to what was, thinking that that's what's going to make them happy instead of allowing change to happen and seeing what the future holds. Um, the other thing I found out, which was mind blowing and which I think is important for all of you, is that Aphrodite's soul, this is hard to explain. Okay, so my partner in that lifetime, if his original soul traces back to one of the like Greek gods, um, Greek or Roman gods or whatever kind of god you want to talk about. So his soul is a god. So all of the gods and goddesses are kind of a single soul, and each of the gods and goddesses are kind of a facet or a personality of the whole. It's almost like God is all of them combined and he split them out into different personalities the same way he did with the archangels. Yeah. So Aphrodite is the female equivalent or the female version of my partner in that lifetime. So had I been brave and been like, you know what, it's hard and it's out of my comfort zone, but I'm going to try to be friends. I'm going to try to get past all my, sorry, that's my cat. I'm going to try to get past all my discomfort and I'm going to try to grow and I'm going to move on and I'm going to have a new best friend and I'm going to have a new life and I'm going to see what that looks like. If I would have done that, I would have enjoyed his soul through her in a different way, but I would have actually got to connect to him and be with him more through her if I had allowed myself to move forward. But because I wanted to hold on to what was, I missed out on that. So I wanted to just bring that forward for everyone to see how perhaps that might apply to someone's life who is watching this video. So that's everything I have for you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.